Okay, this lesson is about the volume of prisms and cylinders. So, in this lesson we're going to learn and apply the formula for the volume of a prism and also the formula for the volume of a cylinder. Okay, so first of all, volume of a three-dimensional figure is the number of overlapping cubes of a given size that will exactly fill the interior. So volume is talking about the interior of an object. And we have Cavalier's principle. Okay? Cavalier's principle says that if two three-dimensional figures have the same height, okay, and the same cross-sectional area at every level, they have the same volume. So this principle says that if they have the same height, such as this height, okay, is the same as this height, okay, and the two have the same area of the base, like the cross section. This triangle down here is the same area as this triangle, and as you continue up, that's also matches with this triangle and this triangle. So all the same cross sectional area. Then these two figures have the same volume. So even though it's oblique, which means it's leaning, if it has the same base and the same height, they have the same volume. Okay, so here is the formula that you need to know. Volume equals base times height. And that is the main thing we're learning right now. Volume is the area of the base times the height. Okay, volume equals the base times the height. And this formula will work for all prisms. Okay, any prism, anything that has two bases on the top and the bottom, this is the formula to use for volume. So the capital B is the area of the base, and h is the height, which is the distance between the bases. Okay, let's see if we can find the volume of a rectangular prism with height of 9, whose base is a right triangle with legs 7 and 5. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make a sketch of this shape. We have a right triangle, okay, and the right triangle has legs of 7 and 5, okay, and it's a triangular prism, which means that a prism means that it has two bases that are the same. So, let's see if I can draw this. So we have a triangle on top and bottom that are the same. And the height of the object is 9. Okay, so to find the volume, we're going to say that volume equals the area of the base times the height. Okay, well the base is a triangle, so we're going to have to find the area of this triangle, okay, and then multiply by the height. Well, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Okay, so triangles is 1/2 BH. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/2, okay, times 7 times 5. That's the area of the triangle. And I multiply that by the height of the entire object, which is 9. Alright, so 1/2 times 7 times 5 times 9 gives me my volume, and I plug that in my calculator, and I get 157.5. And all of these happens to be in yards. Alright. So the same formula also works for cylinders. These two stacks of CDs here, they have the same volume. Why do they have the same volume? I know that because they have the same height. Okay, they're both the same number of CDs stacked tall, and the area of the base is the same, which is to say that this circle down here is the same as the CD down here. So since each CD is the same in both stacks and they have the same height, of course they have the same volume. So again, I have volume equals base times height. This time the base is a circle. Okay, the base is a circle, and the area of a circle is pi r squared. So this time I'm going to use pi r squared for my base, okay, and then I multiply that by the height. Volume equals pi r squared, and then times the height. Okay, so here's another example of that. Find the volume of the cylinder. And they want us to give our answer in terms of pi. So, so when we do this, we're going to say, okay, the volume equals the area of the base times the height. So the area of the base is a circle. And so the area of a circle is pi r. What's my radius? Well, if the entire thing is 18, half of the diameter there would be 9. So pi r squared would be 9 squared. Okay, and then times the height, and the height is 14. I can know that's the height because the height and the base have to be perpendicular. They have to form 90. Okay, so we're just going to do 9 squared is 81, and then 81 times 14. So I'm not going to multiply out the pi because they said to leave my answer in terms of pi. So don't put that part in the calculator. Just put the 9 squared times 14 in the calculator without putting the pi in. So we're going to get 1134 pi. Alright, let's see if we can find the volume of this composite shape. So we're going to need to break it down into two shapes, right? Let's do the bottom shape first here, the rectangular prism on the bottom. Okay, to find the area of the rectangular, or the volume of the rectangular prism, we're going to say the volume equals the area of the base times the height. Well, the base is this rectangle down here, okay, and the area of that rectangle is just 8 times 4. And we multiply that by the height of the rectangle, which is 5. All right, now if we want to find the volume of the triangular prism. In order to do this, we're going to need to know the area of the base. Well, the base this time is a triangle, and the triangle is not on the bottom, it's on the side. So here's the triangle that we need to find the area of. And then we can multiply that by the height, which would be the distance between the two bases, the distance between the two triangles, which is 4 because it says 4 there. So we're going to need to find the area of this triangle. To find the area of this triangle, we need to do 1/2 base times height, but we don't know what the height is. So we know that this side is 8, and that also this side down here is also 8. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to try to find the height in the middle here. Let's call it h. In order to do that, we know that our height is perpendicular to our base. If this is 8, then each side here is 4. So now I can use the Pythagorean theorem actually to find out what h is. So I'm just going to look at just half of this triangle. Okay, I'm just going to look at this side of the triangle, and I'm going to do the Pythagorean theorem to find height. So I have 4 squared plus h squared equals 8 squared. So 8 squared is going to equal 64 minus 16. So h squared is 48, and h will be square root of 48. Okay, so the height is square root of 48. Now that I know that, I can come back over here because now I know that the area of the triangle is going to be 1/2 base, which is 8, times the height, which is square root of 48. So the volume is going to equal, okay, the area of the base, 1/2, and we're going to have 8 times the height we just got to be square root of 48. Okay, that's for the triangle. And then we multiply that by the height of the entire shape, the distance between the bases, which is 4. So when I put that in my calculator, I'm going to get volume is 110.85. Okay. So now to find the total volume of this figure, I just add them. Alright, I'm going to have to do that the total volume equals, oh, what did I get over here? This was 160. Okay, so this is 160 plus 110.85. So the answer is 270.85. Great.